All right, everybody, welcome to BO Boys for Sunday, September 28th. Fuck it, it's a raw feed. We're doing it live in studio. I'm Clayton.
Yeah, I'm Pat. Star Member rolls on. Of course, we've recently had on the future president of these United States, the leader of the Democratic Party, Kirk Minahan, was on the last episode. We've got America Ferrera, Chad Hartigan, Jeffrey from AMC Lincoln. This episode, we are the stars on this episode of Star Member BO Boys. We did, though, Clayton, we saw one of our guests just 2 days ago in his environment. We saw Jeffrey, the ticket taker, the star of AMC Lincoln, when we saw One Battle After Another. Now, we've had him in the studio. We sat across from him.
I'm sitting in the very chair that he sat.
Wow. But that, it doesn't compare to seeing him in his natural environment, which is at the greatest movie theater in the world, AMC Lincoln.
Yeah, I mean, when you see someone like, who's a big athlete that everybody loves?
Michael Jordan. Yes, Michael Jordan.
So if you see Michael Jordan at the opening of a used car lot, you're like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I get it. He's got that aura.
He's got the aura. But then he laces up those sneakers.
Yes.
And he gets on the court.
Yes.
And you say, this is a god among men.
Yes. And that is seeing Jeffrey work the people walking into AMC Lincoln and just getting everyone hyped. That's like seeing Jordan ball in between his legs, slam dunk.
Slam doinking, yeah.
Yeah. He did get dunked on, of course, by John Starks of the New York Knicks years ago.
Right. I mean, we both have that poster still in our bedrooms.
Yeah.
And so the thing with that is that we were going to say hi to him if he was not at the IMAX, because normally we see him when we walk into the Dolby, when we're walking and seeing a regular movie. We didn't see him. We thought, well, of course we're not going to see him there.
Yeah.
Because there's a big IMAX 40 millimeter movie. And who are you going to get to greet the audience? You're going to get Jeffrey.
He was on the top floor. Now,
he's the Leo of the AMC.
Yeah. And a lot of our audience who are not coastal elites, who are not New Yorkers, they're probably a little confused right now. They're saying a movie theater and there's multiple floors and the IMAX are different.
They're like, it's not next to a Kohl's.
Right.
Yeah, this isn't in a mall, everybody.
It's not in a mall. This is a standalone structure, this AMC Lincoln. And so there's a basement. We've talked about the basement.
Flooded.
It's often flooded, underwater. That's where the Roses is playing right now. So if you want to see the Roses at AMC Lincoln, get your scuba gear, you go into the basement, you swim up, and that's where the Rose is playing. Then there's the main floor, which has all your big movies. That's where your Dolby screening is. All the movie, they're on that floor. That's usually where Jeffrey is, on that second floor. Top floor at AMC Lincoln, that's the IMAX. And that is where Jeffrey was working this weekend. That's where we saw One Battle After Another. And IMAX is where a lot of people went to go see One Battle After Another this weekend. So why don't we get into it? Let's get into a plow for this weekend, because there's so much to talk about. So, Clayton, could you give us a plow for the box office weekend of Friday, September 26th?
One Battle After Another made $22.4 million in its first frame. Number 2, another newbie, Gabby's Dollhouse, the movie, made $13.7 million in its first frame. Number 3, Demon Slayer, made $7.1 million, down 59%. It lost 358 theaters. It's at $118.1 million in its third weekend of release.
Wow.
Number 4, The Conjuring, Last Rites, made $6.8 million, down 44%. It lost 330 theaters. It's at $161.4 million in its fourth weekend of release. And number 5, a newbie, it was what we thought it was. The Strangers, Chapter 2, made $5.9 million in its first frame. And, okay, let's just, we can't.
Say it.
Yeah.
You have to say this.
Number 6, Him, made $3.6 million, down 72%. No theater change. It's at $20.7 million in its second weekend. And lucky to have that. Lucky to be at 20.
Wow. So 72%, that's a Morbius drop. Him just did a Morbius drop. Is this the realization of everyone now being on the same page, knowing that Jordan Peele did not direct this movie? Because
no, I think people still think he did.
But this fact that it dropped 72%, I think that is...
They think he lost his fastball.
Wow.
They promoted it so much with his name.
Biggest font was always Jordan Peele on
There's
these
got to be
posters.
people who are like, he
Still
lost
going?
it.
Wow.
He lost it.
Wow. Yeah, this is a problem. This is a problem for Jordan Peele, especially since his next movie as of now is undated. We don't know when it's going to come out. It's just going to be him is going to be what people associate with Jordan Peele for years now.
The other thing about it, too, is, you had Get Out. That's 2 words.
Yes.
But then he started doing Us
Yeah.
and Nope.
Yeah.
And now this is him.
Yeah.
So they're thinking, this is a Jordan Peele movie because there's only one word.
Yeah. 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 Does he need to, in order to clear the slate, does he need to get up to a 3-word title for his next movie?
I think they need to rebrand this movie
Okay.
as him play football movie.
Okay.
And then that way they'll be like, well, it can't be a Jordan Peele movie because that's a title that Jordan Peele would never title his movie.
What if they retitle this movie? And I know there's not a lot of time to retitle because it's going to be out of theaters soon.
Well,
but
I'm
I guess
saying
for
in
the
PVOD.
PVOD, it's the retitle this Not Him, and then parentheses Jordan Peele. So you can still do Jordan Peele in huge letters on the promotional material, but now right above his name it says Not Him.
Is there ever been a movie that had a producer change their name to Alan Smithy after a movie got released?
After it got released,
make the biggest name on this Alan Smithy.
Yeah.
Produced by Alan Smithy.
Yeah. Well, I think if you go Not Him.
Okay.
And Jordan Peele's name, then people will start to make that association. Like, oh, Jordan Peele directed this. Oh, wait, not him. Not him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the move for PVOD because at this point, it's not even about making money on this movie. It is about clearing Jordan Peele's name when it comes to him. So do the Not Him, and then people start to mentally, they'll be like, oh, of course he didn't direct it. It's not him. It's his name and not him.
And we won't talk about this movie either, but I forgot to go down to the biggest loser of last week, and
okay,
a movie you've already forgotten about.
That I've seen?
No, but you've forgotten about, and it was a big movie with 2 big actors in it.
The Senior?
No. A Big, Bold, Beautiful
my
Journey.
God. Where did
went
that
from
place?
6 to 10.
I have it
dropped 62%.
Deadline has it at 11. I know the numbers must have it at 10, but Deadline has number 10. They call him OG.
Well,
Deadline
we're
has
going by
that
the
as-
numbers. So
Okay, we're
Deadline
going by
could
the
go
numbers.
kick rocks.
Wow.
We always do the numbers.
Okay.
And so don't confuse people, Pat.
Okay, okay.
The fact is, this thing
Strong defender of the numbers. Okay.
this thing bombed out.
Wow.
Dropped 62% from a very small opening to
Right.
1.2.
It flew to the moon.
It is at $5.9 million in the second weekend, and it will make nothing next weekend. This is a huge loss for Sony. This is...
So it's at 5.9. It's going to make maybe it makes another couple $100,000 total. This movie is not going to make $7 million domestic total.
So it flew to the moon, and it did not even fly with the Angels, which is, of course, the Charlie's Angels movie that made $7 million.
Is this is a movie that should they write books about it? A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey. I guess not. I guess Colin Farrell is a character actor. The director of Columbus probably doesn't warrant
I don't think
a
there's
book.
any huge... It's not like this is a
behind the scenes
a Gilliam
trouble.
movie.
Yeah,
Like this wasn't or like Fitzcarraldo. Like
this wasn't
nothing crazy
Apocalypse
happened.
Now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which
This
actually was a
wasn't-
big hit.
This wasn't as the great Kirk Minahan recommended the doc about Megalopolis.
Yes.
There's no mega doc.
This is a Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey. Went exactly according to plan. And that plan was always to make less than $7 million domestic as the follow-up for Margot Robbie to Barbie.
Yeah, I mean...
This is one... Maybe there shouldn't be a book, but I do think there should be a UCLA class about this movie. It should be studied. I do think a movie that is Margot Robbie's follow-up to Barbie, and it's not like she made an indie movie.
Okay.
It's a big Sony. This was the big movie I'm going to make following the biggest movie of 2023. And it's going to come out to make $7 million total domestic.
But Pat, that's what people want to see her as, Barbie. She's never been butts in seats ever. And so I don't think this is a surprise.
So you don't think this is you don't think this is the class at UCLA?
No.
No. Okay.
I mean, they're already wasted. I mean, going to college is such a waste.
It's a virtual class anyway, so you might as well.
I guess.
You might as well do a virtual class at UCLA on a Big Bold Beautiful Journey's box office because who cares? The kids aren't even showing up.
I guess you can give a job to a failed screenwriter to talk on Zoom to a bunch of students who have you on mute or have themselves on mute while they're doing something else and listening to prattle on about this movie. I guess that's a good waste of people's tuition money.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think
you're completely overstating anybody's interest in her as a star in a movie.
So does this matter at all for her career, or it's basically if she attaches herself to the right IP, she's still a big star in the way that
if she does Barbie 2, yes.
If she does Barbie 2,
I mean, anything else, I just don't think there's an interest.
Is there an interest in Margot Robbie being brought into the Gabby's Dollhouse franchise? Or do you think based on this opening weekend, she won't even get that chance?
No, I think people like whoever's in this movie. This thing opened to 13. Now, we went high on this. We got nuts. We were right about the one battle number. We were just wrong about
let's talk
Gabby's. Yeah.
So Gabby, I went 30 last weekend. I thought, and I had gotten. Although actually, I got this information after we went to air. I did have the OG wannabe old girl reached out to say that we're low on Gabby.
Yeah.
That and this OG wannabe old girl. She's a wannabe old mama. She's got a 5-year-old? Yeah, 5-year-old, of course, whose name we will never say.
Because anonymity is so important.
It's anonymity, and then it's representation.
Yeah.
And then, of course, it's ripping off the caution tape, free speech. Those are the big three. But as we'll talk about later in this episode. But she was like, you're low on Gabby. Gabby's the biggest thing on Netflix. My kid's been waiting for Gabby's Dollhouse to see this movie for months. There's T-shirts. She said there's every single kid and person in the playground was wearing a Gabby's Dollhouse shirt.
Okay.
Merchandise. And I don't know if that's official merchandise, if it's bootleg merchandise.
Screen printed.
Right. But
Puffy paint.
That I don't know, but she said they all had Gabby's Dollhouse merchandise at these playgrounds. So she going into this weekend, I'm like, man, was I low? Is this going to open at 40 or 50? It opened at 13.5.
So you got bad intel.
I got bad intel. I mean, listen, and it's anecdotal. Maybe she just particularly lives in a heavily Gabby's Dollhouse super fan community.
Yeah.
Where just people who love Gabby's Dollhouse, they end up buying houses in the same neighborhood, and that's just how it worked.
Yeah.
I don't know. But
it's like when there's those neighborhoods that are just full of bronies.
Yes.
Which are male My Little Pony.
Of course, yeah. They've never made the male My Little Pony movie to capitalize on that craze, right? They've never made the Brony movie.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
I mean, you would know, but it didn't happen then. Gabby's Dollhouse, the movie, 13.7. And so it's a little, it didn't go nuts. This movie didn't go nuts.
Mm-mm.
But apparently the budget for this is like in the 30s, and the budget is the budget. This is not going to be the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise for Kristen Wiig.
No.
I think the thing that I wish could have happened for her, we talked about this with Kirk, we all are fans of hers. She didn't really get the movie star run that she would have gotten if she broke out in, say, the 1990s. And this kind of seemed to be like, okay, could she be a Jack Black, Jim Carrey? 13.7, it's good, but I don't think this is going to be her playing her Dr. Robotnik for 3 movies straight.
No. I'm just trying to look at the demos for this movie and what...
did the Latino audience overperform? It is a Latino main character.
I mean, I think they definitely, because Anthony D'Alessandro, he was saying, when the preview numbers came in for Thursday, he said, "Eek." Said, "Eek, this looks like it's going to be Harold the Purple and the Purple Crayon."
Yeah.
And he was underestimating
The Saturday Walk.
Up. And also, this was a play for very young kids, and you're not dragging a very young kid to a preview of a kids movie that starts at like 7 or 8 p.m. on a
Thursday night. I didn't get that at all,
Yeah.
why everyone was so low on Gabby's weekend because of that Thursday night preview.
Yeah.
No one's taking kids out on a Thursday night.
I mean, he called it a toddler play.
A toddler play.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that a phrase that he should be using? That this is a toddler play?
Yeah, I mean, I
Should
think
he calm down with that?
No, I think it's fine.
It's fine. Okay.
I think the connotation that you are thinking of for other things isn't in Anthony.
Okay, so this
mind.
is a toddler play, and we will keep using that phrase throughout this episode. So this toddler play,
I don't think we
Gabby's
should.
Dollhouse,
There's no reason to use it more than now.
5 to 10 times.
Well,
so,
the one time I said it, to quote him, is the only time we should actually use it.
Is Gabby's Dollhouse one of the better toddler plays that we've seen? What would you say? Think back.
Paw Patrol.
Is Paw Patrol the biggest toddler play of the B.O. Boys era?
Of the B.O. Boys era.
A toddler play. We're thinking right now.
I don't really think that much about
plays.
toddlers. So I would say Paw Patrol is probably it.
Yeah.
Because it's what Gabby wanted to be, which was and I think has succeeded at least to a level of a show for very young kids that has crossed over from TV to motion pictures.
So,
because I would say something like Dogman is not for very young kids. I think it's
Dogman's not a toddler play. No. I mean, Dogman had a horrific body horror.
I mean, the bucket of guts was seen on screen, and I don't think toddlers should be seeing buckets of guts.
No. What happened in Dogman is not a toddler play.
No.
I mean, they took the head of a dog and put it on a human's body.
Mm-hmm.
If that is your version of a toddler play, you're messed up.
Yeah.
That is not the B.O. Boys version of a toddler play, and it's definitely not Anthony D. is for coining D phrase toddler play D'Alessandro. Not his version of a toddler.
I feel like
play.
that's over 10 times.
Saying toddler play?
You said 5 to 10, and I think it's over 10.
Well, there's also now a promotional kickback element to this, and I made sure that I would get paid by, I wouldn't even say what company, but
okay,
we get paid per mention of the phrase toddler play. So, Gabby's Dollhouse at 13.7. Is that enough of a toddler play for this to start a movie franchise? Obviously, it's a healthy toddler play as a series on Netflix, but do you think now they've made the transition to where this is a big screen franchise toddler play?
It's hard to say. I think with a movie like this, you have to see like what are the legs.
Yes.
Because at this point, this is a solid, nice opening for a movie.
Yeah, good opening for a toddler play, but what are the legs on this toddler
But what
play?
are the legs? So, I mean, I think that question can be answered next weekend.
Okay. Yeah.
But it depends because you've got this Taylor Swift commercial coming out, and I don't know how many women of a certain age are going to drag their children to a 45 to 60 minute infomercial for a album about a woman dressing like Pamela Anderson from a movie that was, I guess, sort of liked and got her a SAG
almost got an Oscar nomination.
Right,
Yeah.
she got a SAG nomination?
She got a Golden
Globe nomination.
Yeah,
she got a Golden Globe nomination.
So next weekend, Taylor Swift, the release party of a Showgirl, the movie. That's not a toddler play, though. That is a tween and millennials play.
Yeah, but I do no.
You think that's a toddler play?
Well, no. I think that these older millennial women who are obsessed with Taylor Swift will bring their children.
Okay, including toddlers.
Yes.
Okay. So it's not a toddler play, but toddlers will
They
be
subjected to it.
subject.
And whether that's
dragged to it.
abuse, it's not up to me because I'm not a parent.
Right.
I think it's abuse, but I have no sort of authority to, make like a citizen's arrest or anything.
Right. And there's so many theaters next weekend, and you can't be at all.
And there's so many women of a certain age that are so bonkers over this musical artist that they would bring.
So even that's
a
in quotes to
toddler.
you now, that Taylor Swift being a musical artist.
I don't really know what she does anymore.
Okay.
I don't follow it.
She's a filmmaker. I mean, next weekend we've got Taylor
Well,
Swift,
she didn't
the
make
release party
this
of a
film.
Showgirl
She's not the
movie.
director of this.
She's the auteur, though.
Okay, well,
Mike Myers didn't direct Austin Powers, but Jay Roach is not the auteur of the Austin Powers.
okay, all right. Well,
I mean, are you saying Jay Roach is the auteur of the Austin Powers trilogy?
I don't know if this is the weekend to get in that argument, but I mean,
It's the weekend for it.
okay. I mean,
Jay Roach, he's got the Roses playing in the flooded basement of the AMC Lincoln. So if we're going to talk about Jay Roach,
I just feel like I wasn't prepared for you to completely throw Jay Roach under the bus in a way where when you look at something like that Mike Myers had total control over, like The Love Guru, we see how that ended up. So Jay Roach was a countermeasure that was needed.
I would say Mike Myers is the auteur of the Austin Powers movies. I've never heard anyone make a case that Jay Roach is anything more than a camera person on those movies.
But anything more than a cameraman on those movies?
A head cameraman.
Oh my gosh. All right. So this is this is a whole can of worms.
Oh, this
that we
is a
can't get
whole
into.
separate.
Yeah.
This is a spin-off series.
I think
on the BO Boys Network.
Listen, I don't want to.
We need a healthy debate. What
I'm saying is, I don't know if Mike Myers completely controlled those all of those in the way that you're saying.
But
like,
would you know Taylor Swift is the auteur of this movie coming out next weekend, and it's not a toddler play, but you think it's enough of a millennials have control over toddlers that it will eat into weekend 2 of Gabby's Dollhouse movie, which is a toddler play.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're going to be like, don't you want to see this adult woman in a showgirl costume? And the baby will just be crying and crying because they want to see Gabby.
Yeah.
They want to see Kristen Wiig. They want to see the dollhouse.
Yeah.
And they're going to have to watch lyric videos
Yeah.
for an artist that they don't even understand what's happening.
Right.
When they hear it.
They don't get that this is actually a lyric video from a song about her relationship with Jake Gyllenhaal. The toddler won't get that. You don't think?
Yeah, they don't know who Jake Gyllenhaal is.
Yeah.
Because Jake Gyllenhaal is not in the dollhouse.
Right.
As he shouldn't be.
Right.
I mean, it's bad enough Cal Mooney's in the dollhouse. I mean, we'll get into a whole thing with that, but...
Did that hurt this opening weekend?
Of course it did.
Okay, so this 13-point...
I think you mentioning it hurt this.
Well, Kirk mentioned it. He did. He was the one who said the words Cal Mooney on our last episode, and...
That's true. The leader of the Democratic Party saying something like that.
And he's got a huge platform.
I think, and this is the thing.
The information got out there that they were trying to hide that Kyle Mooney is in this doll.
This is a great lesson learned, and it's learned on a pretty unimportant issue. But now that Kirk is at the level he is, leader of the Democratic Party,
right?
Anything he says will be taken seriously by the press.
Yeah.
And leaking information like Cal Mooney being in this movie was detrimental to the box office because of the power that Kirk now wields.
Right. And take it out of context, where I'm sure that, Kirk mentioned that Cal Mooney is in Gabby's Dollhouse.
But he didn't
I would bet
sanction it or give it. He didn't say that this was something I am for.
Well, and also, I'm sure that got out there, and then there was probably media that ran with Kyle Mooney, star of Gabby's Dollhouse.
Yes.
And then people heard that, and they're like, I'm not going to go see this.
No.
Kyle Mooney is the star of Gabby's Dollhouse. That's not what he said. But
the Brigsby Bear guy?
It gets misconstrued. And yeah, I definitely think that information getting out there is detrimental to this movie.
Yeah.
And did they do enough with Kristen Wiig? I mean, I'll say the promotion for this movie probably didn't reach the places where we're getting promoted.
No.
It wasn't, the ads weren't in front of the YouTube videos that we watch. They weren't in front of sports, and
No.
we watched 24/7 sports, so it wasn't on there. But I still, it never got to me in any of the promotion.
Yeah,
because
you don't have a toddler.
Yeah, so
You don't know a lot of toddlers. I mean, I watch
wouldn't be a toddler play.
Yeah, I watch a lot of car jitsu, and there's no commercials during car jitsu.
Right.
So
Is that hosted by Jay Leno? What is car jitsu?
it's a jujitsu in a car. It's not hosted by Jay Leno. No.
Okay. So it's not part of the Jay Leno's garage.
If he
universe.
does car jitsu tournaments in his garages, they're very below board, and there's a lot of money and there's deaths.
Yeah.
And we don't know anything about it.
Yeah, okay. He probably wouldn't be involved in that because comedians would never be involved in anything that could get,
Oh no, they wouldn't sanction. No, they would not. No,
anything below board.
No,
anything.
no. No, yeah.
So, Gabby's Dollhouse, 13.7. I'm sure it's going to be a profitable production. It's a Netflix series that I'm sure strung 3 episodes worth of content together, and that.
Well, no, this is a live action version of. I think this is a cartoon. I don't think this.
So the Netflix series is fully animated. It's not a live action.
No, it's not
hybrid
live.
situation.
I don't think it's live action. No, I don't believe so.
Okay.
So this was they upped the stakes on this.
Well, the other thing that Anthony D is for creating D-Phrase toddler play D'Alessandro, he mentioned that this is also a movie that exists to amp up the merchandising.
Yes.
So as a way of just getting the brand out there, this is going to help. And again, that's the power of movie theaters.
Yes.
Is it makes the IP more popular by the fact that it was in a movie theater.
And you go and you see other people wearing shirts, and you say to your parent, I want that shirt.
Yeah, mommy.
That doesn't happen when you stay home and watch a Netflix show.
Right.
Because there's nobody to look around and be like, I want that shirt.
Right.
And I don't have that shirt. That shirt's in your house, so you have it.
Right. In that situation, the kid is watching the Netflix show alone, empty house, no one's nearby. That is what TV is.
Yeah.
And that is what Streamo is.
Mom's upstairs on Reddit posting defenses of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's relationship.
Right.
Saying it's not fake. Saying that he isn't like a CTE riddled, angry man waiting to explode.
Right. Well, she's replying to your post that you've put. The 85-minute documentary video that you posted about their relationship. That this mom is now replying to that.
Yeah. Well, still, she has a kid to take care of, and I have nothing else to do.
Right. No, you making that video, I'm not saying that is a waste of your time.
I didn't take it as that.
Yeah, because it's definitely not.
Yeah.
But for her, she should be downstairs at least once an hour checking on this kid.
Just making sure that they're not choking on something.
Right. I mean, listen, let Gabby's Dollhouse autoplay one after another, just once an hour. Pry yourself away from Clayton's Reddit video about Taylor Swift. Go downstairs, see if the kid is choking.
Yeah.
That is because we are YouTubers. Hey guys,
but leave the video going so I get those streams.
Yes, leave it on the other tab.
It'll replay so you can just pick it up where you left off.
Yeah, and that was our parenting corner, is once an hour, see if the kid is choking. Then you could go back on Reddit.
And stop them if they are choking. I think you did not say that. You just said check if they're choking as if
that's the end of it.
That's the end of it. No, you do have to dislodge.
Yeah, there's
if there
one
is something
step
lodged.
further you have to go, which is like you have to squeeze and this is why you have to watch the YouTube video. You're not going to get this just from listening to the podcast feed. Is you have to squeeze them in the middle. So back, this hand is the back of the child. This hand is the belly. A big squeeze to get whatever is lodged in their throat for them to spit out.
Wait, what hand did you have on the stomach?
You do like this. You have to.
Was that your right hand?
them.
Oh, I'm left-handed, so I would do it this way with the stomach this way with the back.
Yeah, but either way,
to each their own.
You have to squeeze whatever's in their throat out, so they spit it out, and you have to see it. You have to make sure you see it.
See the arc of it.
Yeah, the arc of it, because if the arc is off, then the damage has already been done.
Yeah.
But so go down. Step 1 is check. Step 2 is dislodge. Step 3, then you go back upstairs, continue on with your Redditing.
Yeah.
So that's Gabby's Dollhouse. Let's get to it. The #1 movie in America this weekend.
The streak is broken. Warner Brothers over 40. Streak is broken.
Yeah.
We knew it was going to happen.
Can you name all the members of the streak?
No, it seems like you can, though.
Let's see. So it started with Bloodlines, right? No, it would have started with
It's this year.
it's this year. So it would have started with a Minecraft movie.
No, Minecraft was last year. It opened last year. At the end of last year, didn't it?
No, Minecraft is what kicked this all off. Because remember, Warner Brothers had Alto Knights, Mickey 17, Giant Bombs is Warner Brothers completely F. Then you had Minecraft movie. Then you had Sinners. Then you had Final Destination Bloodlines. You had FDB. Then you had F1, which Warner Brothers, we give them that one. They distributed an Apple film. They distributed Apple film. So that was 4. Then number 5 would have been Weapons. Am I missing one? Oh, and then number 6 is Conjuring Last Right. So those are your 6 Warner Brothers 40+ million openers this year. But it did start with a Minecraft movie.
Okay, yes, you're right.
And it ends with Paul Thomas Anderson's One Battle After Another, which got to what, 23?
22.
22. And listen, you're seeing a lot of consternation about
It's lower than Flower Moon.
Flower Moon.
But Scorsese's a hit maker.
Yes. Scorsese is a bigger mainstream name than Paul Thomas
100%.
Anderson. By far.
Yeah.
And Robert De Niro is a bigger star as a secondary person than anyone else who's in One Battle After Another.
Scorsese does commercials with Timothy Chalamet. Like, Scorsese's a guy that sits on a subway train in commercials with Timothy Chalamet.
Okay.
He's a guy. He's a star.
He's a star.
Guy. PTA is a guy who people on the internet know.
Yes.
And people, this letterbox generation knows. But you're not seeing him selling, MasterCards.
Right.
Like
that's the big difference.
That's the difference.
And here's the thing. This movie is a step towards Paul Thomas Anderson being able to someday be a star director. Now, listen, he's been around forever. He's obviously one of the best
but so was
directors
Scorsese.
of this era. Scorsese was around forever before he became finally a movie star director with Leo. And I think that is what this movie is Warner Brothers saying, here's the thing. Let's step back. This is a fine opening. 22.5 million. You would have wanted this to open at 30. In a perfect world, this opens 30, 35. But this movie opening at 22.5 for what it is, only for adults dramedy that doesn't have a super easy hook to it. It's not a genre movie. This is a fine opening. But I think that everyone who's going nuts about the budget here, first of all, opening weekend is not going to be the whole story here.
Yeah.
But it's also, overall for this movie, Warner Brothers wants to be the place where Nolan left them a couple of years ago. They totally effed that up. And they want to be able to get these big directors to look at Warner Brothers as a place to be after they screwed over Clint. They screwed over Nolan, lost him, and he made Oppenheimer.
They screwed over Affleck back in the day, too.
Affleck. They screwed it. So I think that that's part of the overall story of whatever this movie ends up doing is Warner Brothers can look at a movie like this and say, we're not going to make all of our budget back on theatrical, and that's okay.
It's a loss leader. It's what these studios should be doing. They're the Sinners and the Minecrafts and those type of movies.
FDB, Final Destination.
Final Destination, more so than Sinners, because Sinners was sort of like an auteur movie. So the Minecrafts and the Final Destinations, they pay for these things.
The Conjuring Last Right.
Conjuring, they pay for this sort of movie in the sense that you're going to have movies that are the crown jewels in the sense of they're going to be Oscar plays.
Yes.
There are going to be movies that adults go to the movie theaters to see, and then they'll go see more movies of the same ilk because they get used to how fun it is.
Right.
These are things that don't have to necessarily make back their budget in theatrical because they do draw people to the theater and draw people to the theater for other movies down the line as well.
And it's like Sinners is the perfect version of everything going right.
Yes.
In that you made a big budget auteur play, and I think when they greenlit Sinners, obviously that's a horror movie, so they probably had, we hope, we think this could break out, but that went as well as any of these movies could possibly go. In that, well reviewed, it's going to be up for Oscars, and it was a giant mainstream hit.
Yes.
That's the best case scenario. One Battle After Another is a movie where maybe it does top out at 70 million. We'll see. If that happens, I still think as long as this movie is up for Best Picture, gets its 10 Oscar nominations, everyone loves it, and it's a movie that is going to be watched downstream, I think Warner Brothers is okay if they don't make their money back on the theatrical run on a movie like this. And I think part of it is also they want to work with someone like Paul Thomas Anderson. And maybe this isn't his Interstellar, his Inception, his Oppenheimer, his Sinners. But I think you feel like if we make big budget movies with Paul Thomas Anderson, eventually we will get that kind of movie out of him. And maybe it's not One Battle After Another, but a great filmmaker, give him a big budget. At some point, it'll pay off with one of those perfect storm movies.
Yeah.
And maybe this isn't it, or maybe it is, depending on the legs.
Yeah. I mean, this is by far PTA's best opening ever, obviously.
Right.
This is the 11th 220 million plus opener in theaters for Leo.
Yeah.
Right? So that's a
let's talk-
streak. I don't know if it's a streak, but that's something for him. But yeah, and feedback from this audience.
This is the big one.
A+ cinema score.
Yep.
74% definite recommend. Very young male heavy.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing. The fact that these have such high scores,
mm-hmm.
I do think it's a little bit false in the sense that the hardcores came out to see this movie.
Okay.
But the positive thing is that there's $21 million plus worth of hardcores for what's going on here.
Right.
Right? So either it's PTA or Leo. Those are the two draws.
Those are two draws. It's mostly Leo. I definitely think this was a PTA moment where this is the biggest movie ever made and people wanted to see him and
that he's
IMAX
ever made.
That PTA has ever made. I think with Leo, he though is the reason why this movie's at 22 million instead of if it was this exact same movie and Joaquin Phoenix is in the role instead of Leo with PTA, it opens to 9, or 11 or something like that.
Oh, if this is Joaquin Phoenix as the lead in this movie, it's Eddington.
It's Eddington, which did that get to 10 or so? Did that open around that? Maybe less, but around that.
No, I don't think that.
Yeah.
That high.
If this is a different actor, Leo's the reason why this movie opened to 20. He's also the reason why they were able to get whatever the budget they got. But
yeah, you only get a budget from Warner Brothers for Joaquin Phoenix movie if it's a Joker movie, and that's gone.
Right.
Yeah.
And the thing with Leo is
Eddington opened to 4.
He's such a giant movie star, all these hit movies, but he's not been, and I'm sure I don't know what the opening weekend of Inception was. That was probably a lot higher than normal. But the Leo hits, it's not like they open to $80 million. Like the Leo hits do open to $25-30 million. I'm sure Great Gatsby probably opened to like 40 something. And I think Wolf of Wall Street was a Christmas week, so that's a skewed one. But The Departed, I think, opened to 25 or 26, and that's where an opening weekend of a Leo movie is because he doesn't do IP. He does movies for adults. So maybe with a few exceptions, it's not like Leo movies open at 70 million anyway. They open in the 20s or maybe 30, and then they either leg out or they don't.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was always going to be the story of this movie. I'm sure they would have wanted a little higher than 22. You know,
Yeah.
the hope a couple of weeks ago was probably still, can this get to 30? But it didn't. I mean, why do you think it didn't? Because there was always a chance it could have gotten that high. I mean, Flower Moon did 26, and obviously, like we said, this is not Scorsese.
I don't think I was not in love with any of the trailers.
Okay.
I don't think this movie did a good job of explaining what it is. I think it's a movie that's hard to explain in a trailer. And so you have to just say, trust us, it's Leo. And then at a smaller level, trust us, it's PTA.
Yeah.
And I think that's a hard trust with people's money. They have other options, right, than to trust something like that.
Yeah.
And so, this is not a commercial film. As much as people are saying it might be PTA's, people are saying it's PTA's most commercial film.
Yes.
I
think it is.
More than Boogie Nights?
Yes, Boogie Nights is got a lot of pornography depictions in it. I think was always going to be a tough sell to be a mainstream
I guess
movie.
this
definitely is.
I guess I think
of action, and it's pretty much from like 30 minutes on. It is purely a action comedy.
Okay, that's another thing I'm going to push back on.
Okay,
it is not an action movie. It's a movie with guns.
It's not an action movie in which there's fight scenes, but it is a very momentum forward movie. It's a very what's going to happen next? What's going to happen next? This guy's got to get here. Like, it's a pretty easy movie to be compelled by in the what you get out of an action movie.
There's cars and guns. Calling it an action movie, I disagree with.
Not an action movie, but a thriller or has thriller plot elements. I think it's a pretty.
It's a comedy thriller with guns and a few car chases, and I think that it's his most commercial, but I don't think this is a movie for the general public because I think there's a lot of downtime in it.
Yeah, I mean, we're not critics high, and we both saw this Friday night, and I definitely liked it a lot more than you did.
There's some really great, hilarious moments in this movie, surrounded by some very, okay, let's get through this.
Can we both agree that there is a former SNL writer in this movie that should get a Best Supporting Actor nom nom nom?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Hands down. If you're talking MVPs of this movie, it's Leo.
Yeah.
It's Benicio.
Yeah.
It's Downey. Can you say his name?
Yeah, let's say his name. James Downey.
James Downey.
Yeah, those are
and Regina Hall.
Yeah.
Those are the MVPs of this movie.
Yeah.
To me.
I did like the lead. Chase Infinity played the daughter. I thought she was great.
I have Chase Infinity Internet.
Great.
Yes.
So, I mean, that's how she funded her acting class.
Yeah, Nepo baby.
Yeah. So, it's definitely his most commercial movie. Mm-hmm. I think that's for sure. I think this was...
But does that make it commercial?
The most commercial Paul Thomas Anderson movie.
Is that what's the commercialness of it?
I think that it's the people who are primed to see this are the ones who came out, but getting that A+ cinema score is still good because when a movie makes $22 million, there's just a lot of people mixed in there who just went to see a movie and they clearly liked it. $22 million is you're getting more than just PTA superfans because he's never made a movie that's open to more than like $4 million.
Yeah.
So there's not that many PTA superfans.
And I think the thing too is that, we're not critics, And I think the critical community is having a crisis right now because there's been so many crappy IP movies clogging up the schedule for so many years.
Right.
That when an actual decent movie that's made for adults comes out, it is like Jesus coming back.
Yeah.
And I think we saw it with Sinners. We saw it with this. We're seeing it with, even with Oppenheimer. Like, everything is the next coming of Jesus. Mm-hmm. And that's good that people are excited, but I think it skews people's understanding of how good a movie actually is.
I guess so.
And I think that can drive people to the theater, but if it happens too often, then it can drive people away because they'll be like, I heard this about this and this and this, and I came out disappointed. I'm just not going to go anymore because I can't trust these critics.
Yeah.
I think there's a level of that.
I don't think there's a backlash at play yet. And also, those examples
But it could
you gave-
happen.
Sure, it could happen. But I think the examples you gave, people like those movies. So they're
Yes.
not, people loved Oppenheimer. They love Sinners. So I don't think anyone right now is like, I don't trust the critics when they say a movie's
Yeah.
great because it's worked the last few times.
It has worked the last few times, but I think there's where I want people to get
audiences, I mean, again, it got the A Cinema score, so I don't think people are seeing this and coming out of it saying, this is not what I hoped it would be. You know, we'll see what people think when they go see it in a mall on a Wednesday.
It's about the legs on this one for sure.
It's about the legs. The next weekend, you've got the Taylor Swift movie. That's a totally different audience. Obviously, I don't think that really matters for the Leo movie. You do have the Smashing Machine next weekend, and I actually have seen some reports that the ticket sales are soft on the Smashing Machine, the opening weekend ticket sales. I think it's going to be the opposite, where I do think, and we'll get into it on our next episode,
Yes,
the preview
of course.
episode, but I think One Battle is going to be the movie that audience gravitates towards, the adult looking for a good drama, the young male audience. I think next weekend is going to be more of a problem for Smashing Machine than it is for One Battle. I do think this movie is going to be, to whatever degree that audience matters, going to be the pick of the adults who want to go see a movie, want to see a star, want to see something well-reviewed.
Yeah.
I still think this movie is going to have that momentum next weekend and for the next few weeks after that. The reviews are there. The audience score is there. I know you're predicting an anti-critic backlash, but I don't see where that's coming from yet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because you predict something before it happens. You don't predict something as
Well, I
it's
don't see
happening.
the evidence for it
Yeah.
in the sense that the audience likes it. So I don't think there's going to be a backlash. Obviously, there's always examples of something on the internet. There's
Yeah.
going to be people on the internet who are angry that the critics like this,
Well,
but I don't
well-
think that's going to be a big thing.
Well, with my hope is that the momentum from all of these auteur movies doing well is going to mean that more of those movies are going to exist. So then more of those movies are going to be reviewed in a way that is like fairer, because you're not comparing one battle after another to Fantastic Four First Steps, right?
Okay.
That's the comparison that people are making now. When you look at what these reviews are, they're reviewing it in comparison to Thunderbolts and stuff like that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So, of course, this is 1,000 million times better than any of those movies. But we need more of these type of movies so critics can actually get to review good blockbuster movies that are done for adults.
Right,
That's my
right.
hope in the future. Not just holding on to any crumb of good cinema that they're being thrown. That's all I'm saying.
So, yeah,
And
I think there is a thing of you didn't like this movie as much as the other people and as much as the critics. Do you think that there's a scene, we always talk about the hair gel scene and There's Something About Mary, and obviously this is not a comedy,
a gross out
element,
comedy, no.
a gross out comedy, but is there a thing about this movie that could drive, you got to see this movie because of? I mean, for us, it's Jim Downey.
Yeah.
Do you think that could work in a mainstream way where there is word of mouth of, you've got to see SNL writing legend Jim Downey? He did The Change Bank, the guy from The Change Bank, the guy from the from Billy Madison.
He does a great speech at the end of Billy Madison.
Do you think enough people, because that speech is one of the most, at this point, famous scenes in movie
Cinema
history.
Yeah.
But do you think enough people are going to be able to make that connection? The way we saw James Downey on screen, we knew that's James Downey.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think enough people are going to make that connection where the guy from Billy Madison who says, "May God have mercy on your soul," he's in this movie and he's hilarious.
He's also the guy who did the Epstein bit on the Conan podcast, which I think young people know even more about. So I think if listen, we have a lot of power. We wield power, not as much as the leader of the Democratic Party, Kirk Minahan, but we can say that the guy who
Right.
did that viral joke about not knowing, well,
You mean Jeff Epstein,
Jeff, yeah, the financier.
the financier?
That guy from that podcast y'all listen to is in this movie, and he is fantastic in it. So I
Yeah.
think that will draw people.
So is he the hair gel scene?
I mean,
Where you've got to see One Battle After Another, because the guy who did the famous Jeff Epstein, the financier bit,
yeah.
is in this movie and is great.
I mean, I think genuinely, like, the thing about this movie is that things work within the context of it, but don't necessarily work taken out of it. That's why I think the trailers were pretty poor for this
Yeah.
movie. So there is no hair gel scene. I think you have to.
It's tough.
You have to experience. You have to live in this world to get what's fun about some of the moments. Because if you took some of that stuff out of context, people would be like, what is this movie?
Well, the thing that you really dislike that trailer, and one of the things that's in the trailer is the Leo on the phone not knowing the password moment that plays. To me, that's a hair gel scene from this movie. That plays so well in the movie,
Mm-hmm.
but to you and probably other people, the marketing of it didn't land, even though in the movie, because you said coming out of that movie, you expected that to be a bad scene because you didn't like it in the trailer. And then, of course, in the movie, it's one of the funniest things we've seen all year.
Because there's more to it than
There's more to it.
what they're showing, which is what a movie should be. A movie should not just be the trailer.
Right.
That's the thing.
Right.
I mean, Him.
So is there...
Like, Him was a movie that was just the trailer,
Yes.
and people hated it. This movie needs to be watched in its completion, in its completed state, to understand what's good about that scene.
Do we need to get, because the legs on this have to be great for this movie to be as big as it should be, do we need to get Jim Downey footage into the promotional materials this week? Should the commercials for this movie start to include, because he's not in the trailers or the commercials at all.
No.
Tomorrow, Monday morning, do those commercials need to start running where you've got Jim Downey scenes in these commercials?
I think you run a commercial where you have an audience. You do the thing where it's like, we went and saw the #1 movie, in America, blah,
Yep.
blah. And you talk to real audiences who are like, I didn't know Jim Downey is in this. He's amazing.
Yeah.
It's all focused on Jim Downey.
Yeah.
That's the commercial that they need to show.
Yeah.
Real audience members reacting to Jim Downey.
I think do the thing that you do for horror movies where they've got the camera that's like at the bottom corner of the room, focus on the audience, and the audience is all like in green, infrared light, or, they're all green. And you're seeing the audience laugh at the Jim Downey scenes from this movie.
Yeah.
And you're using that footage. Normally in a horror movie, you would see them jump up and pee themselves when the nun pops out of the picture.
Or reacting to the bus hitting the girl in the first Final Destination. That was a classic one.
Or, of course, you've got the camera and you see everyone vomit when Art the Clown saw someone in half. And here here's a hidden camera showing everyone laugh at these Jim Downey scenes in One Battle After Another. And there's your commercial. Just that footage.
He's honestly the most commercial element of the whole movie, other than the fact that Leo is the star of it.
Yeah. And, I mean, Benicio was great in this movie.
Benicio's great in it, too. Yeah, I think that the commercial potential for this movie is more limited than what these exits are saying.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. The second weekend has to be a great hold for this to... I mean, at this point, $22 million opening. And again, we're not going to get hung up on the budget. The budget is the budget. Everything costs more these days.
Yeah.
Price of eggs.
Come on, look at that.
Look at the price of eggs. I mean, feeding a crew on a project that's a production from the last 2 years is a lot different than feeding a crew in 1985.
Oh, 100%.
And you just got to look at the price of eggs to know
Yeah.
that. And I thought the price of eggs were supposed to go down recently, and they did not.
Listen,
So these budgets are going to be out of control because no one cares about the price of eggs anymore.
I'm a SAG member in bad standing.
Yeah.
All right. And I'll tell you, there's a
And
lot
getting worse.
And getting worse. Believe me.
Yeah.
There's a lot of extras in this film, which is great. Live extras. Not AI extras.
Nope.
Real live extras.
Riding skateboards.
And a lot of them are SAG members. And listen, what do they serve at Crafty for breakfast?
I'm not a SAG member in any standing, so I don't know. Is it eggs?
It's eggs.
It's eggs. So it's the price of
breakfast burritos.
Yeah.
Omelets.
Yeah.
For all of those SAG.
This movie had a make your own omelet station where you got an omelet made to order.
Yes.
Not just like, here's a big vat of eggs, take a scoop.
No.
This is
no, it's not a continental breakfast at like a Hilton.
A Marriott, yeah.
Yeah. No. And then even the non-SAG extras, they got like a day-old rolled up breakfast burrito.
Right. But that's still eggs in there.
There's eggs in there.
And the price of eggs was supposed to go down.
And it didn't.
And it didn't. And no one cares, but these movie productions still have to
So
deal
you're going to
with the
blame
price of eggs.
PTA and Warner Brothers for the price of eggs?
Right.
I think you're sort of aiming at the wrong target.
Send your letters elsewhere.
Yes.
Yeah, so the budget is the budget. Warner Brothers obviously wants to be a place where they screwed up. They lost Clint. They lost Nolan. They want to be a place.
They lost Ben
where
Affleck.
They lost Ben Affleck. So that's one part of they want that. But where do we think this movie has a chance to go based on this opening weekend domestic total? Is 100 million has always been, that's the magic number, where if you cross 100 million, that's fantastic. Well,
I think it's going to be hard for this.
It's going to be hard for this.
I think you were sort of right in the 70, 75 range. The other thing that could propel this is if it does become a awards movie frontrunner, I think that could drive interest in this film.
It could, but the problem with that is, in 1995, you're looking at a movie like this that opens in September and plays through the next couple of months, and then it's still in some theaters in January when the Oscar nominations come out, and it gets its 10 Oscar nominations, and then they expand it and it's playing all the way through the ceremony in March. I mean, you look at something like an Unforgiven, which I think made, half of its money probably 4, 5, 6 months into its. That's not gonna. This is gonna be on HBO Max by Christmas, probably.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, so I think that's the problem with the theatrical run for a movie like this is, by the time it gets all those Oscar noms, it'll be on HBO.
Yeah.
So that it's got to. The legs mean it's got to make this money in October. It can't wait until January, February to make another 30, 40 million.
Yeah.
And that is all I got, Clayton. I got nothing left.
Pat, I finished.
Great.
You've said it all. Maybe too much.
Okay. Well,
there's nothing left to be said.
All right. So I can leave?
Except for, until next time,
we'll smell you at the box office. Nailed it. Hey, guys.